I promise to let you go. I promise I'll walk away.
So Fancyleds just came out with their brand new sync box that I already did a dedicated video on that you can check out if interested. But today we're going to take a closer look at another new item that I'm perhaps even more excited about, which is their high density LED strip that you can put anywhere in your room and have it wirelessly sync to the screen. Now the first thing that's going to separate this from anything else currently on the market is the fact that they're using an LED strip that has 96 LEDs per meter. I'm not aware of any other plug and play option currently out there with a density this high. The second benefit is that there's cut points after every 3 LEDs, so above and beyond cutting these to the exact size you need, if your install calls for a gap in between lights and you're the DIY type, you can easily solder on wires to further customize the setup. I also appreciate how user-friendly they made this. The kit comes with a very small controller that's easy to hide, which is used to communicate with the main sync box. Then you simply plug in the power, connect the lights, and after a few steps on the app, which I'll cover here shortly, you're ready to go. Now I have their 5 meter high density strip with a dedicated white LED, but if you want to save a little money, they also offer a strip that has 48 LEDs per meter and no dedicated white, so make sure to keep that in mind. The first thing I had to do was install the main HDMI sync box to my TV. I'll speed through this part since I do go over those steps in close-up detail on the review I did previously. I will link that video in the description in case you wanted to see the process. And for reference, I have a 77-inch Sony Bravia 8 here in the living room. I was debating between this and the LG C4, but ultimately decided to go with Sony, and so far I have no regrets. So my idea to create a full-on immersive environment was to install one strip starting over on the left side and working my way across up to the ceiling, and then do the same on the other side. I also have the perfect spot for another strip underneath the floating ledge that should look great with the light reflecting off the floors. Now with LED strips in general, I always recommend using a diffuser channel to hide the individual lights. I'll be using my favorite option from Muzada as it perfectly diffuses strips that have at least 60 LEDs per meter or more, and it comes in 2 meter long sections which are easier to work with. I'll be securing these to my wall using some 3M command strips. I've used these many times before and I've never had any issues, plus it's renter friendly since you're not needing to drill any holes. I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better on how I have them set up. From here, you can now put the LED strip into the track and work your way up towards the ceiling. And each of these strips are 5 meters, so if you have any leftovers, you can cut them at any of the copper pads. After that, I went ahead and snapped on the milky white covers. I did this for both the left and right side, and I'd say it took me about 30 minutes in total. Moving on to the bottom section, and since the actual LED strip isn't going to be visible to the eye, I'm not going to worry about using a diffuser channel for this part. I'll just be sticking it directly to the underside. Now before moving on, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Aura. So this is me signing up for their free 14-day trial, and during this setup process, one of the many things they do is scan the internet for data brokers that have your personal information. These data brokers then make a fortune selling your information to spammers, scammers, and other entities that want to know more about you. Now, Aura was able to find 30 such instances of my personal information being in the hands of these companies. Then, with one click, Aura sends out a notice to have my information removed from their systems, which they are legally required to do when asked. Their all-in-one platform offers antivirus protection, credit monitoring, credit lock, financial transaction alerts, secure VPN, identity protection, parental controls, 24/7 US-based customer service, and much, much more. I'll leave a link in the description for you to start your own free 14-day trial, so please make sure to check them out. Thank you all so much, and now back to the video. Alright, so now that we have the bottom strip plugged in, it's time to get it set up. Go ahead and fire up the Fancyleds app. On the main screen, hit the plus icon near the top right and add device. It'll automatically find the LED strip, so hit add. Enter in your Wi-Fi information and click next, give it a name, go in and click sync, and you're all set. I'll quickly repeat the same process for the left and right strips, but going back to what I said before, all their products are extremely user-friendly, and I honestly don't know what they could have done differently to make this any easier. Once all 3 LED strips are connected, we can now tell the lights what area of the screen they'll be mirroring by going into the strip that you want to set, click on the arrow icon on the right, and you're presented with all the different orientations you can choose from depending on where you install the lights. For our bottom strip, I'll be going with this one right here since my power is on the left side and the strip is going right. For the left strip, I definitely went with the unconventional design with the backwards L layout. I'm sure many people would have only done the LED strip on the one side of the wall. However, if I ever want to set up some decorative items on the ledge, I want to have some light for that area. What makes the most sense for this side would be the one right here. This means that the part of the LED strip here at the beginning is going to mirror what's on the bottom left side of the screen, and this part at the end will be mirroring the top left of the TV. And for the other side, I'll be doing the exact same thing but just for the right orientation. So we officially have everything set up, and it's time to move on to the fun part, which is testing it out. Now, the reason why these type of systems are getting so popular is because that once they're set up, the entire vibe of the space is instantly transformed to match what's playing on the TV. And everyone's going to have their own favorite use cases, but for me, most evenings, I'm just putting on a lo-fi channel with a sci-fi background and chilling. Music and lights 100% can affect your mood, and after a stressful day at work, even if it's just 15 minutes, this is definitely one of my favorite ways to unwind. Gaming is another huge market for these because people want to feel like they're part of the story, and adding ambient light has a way of drawing you further into the action to where you actually feel like you're running in the Green Meadows with Link or on a desert undercover mission. I don't think this is going to be a popular sell for those who are professional players, but for the average gamer who enjoys getting lost in a good story, this is for sure something you're going to enjoy. Now, I can't go much further without talking about anime because it's a match made in heaven. Anime is all about exaggerated colors and beautiful scenery, so naturally, this is an area where adding lights around your room are going to enhance that experience. Next, I want to touch on another aspect of these that I'm glad they were able to replicate like they did on the sync box, and that's having the lights on the strip turn off during dark parts of the screen. I do think this is crucial in creating the best possible immersive environment because it most accurately represents what's happening on the screen. I have seen other products just turn the lights down during dark parts, and I'm not a huge fan of that approach. The other crucial element is that even though these aren't physically connected to the brains of the operation and everything is going through Wi-Fi, the strips do an incredible job of keeping up with the main lights behind the TV that are connected to the sync box. And while I can't quite call it instantaneous, it is close enough to where you'll more than likely not even notice. One of the last things I wanted to do was to see just how much of a difference adding these extra lights to the setup actually made. I'll play some scenes with just the sync box lights on behind the TV and then with everything on so you can come to your own conclusions. So Fancyleds has already proven to be one of the main players in this space, and with the addition of these high-density synced LEDs, they're sending a clear message to every other company that they're not going anywhere and that they'll continue to come out with new products in this Ambilight space. From here on out, I'll leave you with a lot more footage of everything in action. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.
I know you've been hurt, sadness in those eyes. I'll take away your pain if you let me try. It might take some time, but I'm yours. Every breath, every heartbeat, baby, it's yours. 'Cause wherever you go, I'll be by your side. Whatever you do, I'm down for the ride. So what if we're young, feelings are true, so it begins forever with you. When I'm with you, I feel peace. When I'm with you, I feel alive. When I'm with you, I feel peace. When I'm with you, everything feels right. The night doesn't have to repeat. Old wounds can heal. You have a fragile heart, let me take the wheel. 'Cause wherever you go, I'll be by your side. Whatever you do, I'm down for the ride. So what if we're young, feelings are true, so it begins forever with you. When I'm with you, I feel peace. When I'm with you, I feel alive. When I'm with you, I feel peace. When I'm with you, everything feels right. The past doesn't have to repeat. Old wounds can heal. You have a fragile heart, Let me take the wheel.